So you want to become a productivity monster and crush every single one of your goals, one after the other. Maybe you just started your business and you want to get to $10,000 a month. Or maybe you want to be more productive at work so that you can quickly climb up the corporate ladder. You could also be just a student looking to get better grades. However, let's face it, your life is a complete mess right now. The first thing you do when you wake up is to grab your phone. And let's face it, 30 minutes later, you're still on TikTok. And now, well, you're late for work or for school. You sit down at your desk to do some work and the hours are flying by, but your projects are still not moving forward. You come home at the end of the day, frustrated, exhausted, and unsatisfied because you know it was a wasted day. But then the next morning, the same cycle of hell continues, and before you know it, you're barely getting anything done. Your day-to-day lacks structure. That's actually what's keeping you stuck. Recently, I went through a phase of low productivity, and so I decided to get back on my feet. And the strategies that I implemented, they allowed me to 10x my productivity levels. Let's be honest, when you get a lot of stuff done during the day, at night when your head hits the pillow, you'll feel pretty damn good and pretty damn proud of yourself, right? The first thing that helped me to 10x my productivity levels on a daily basis was to go and hit the gym first thing in the morning. Have you ever been to a gym around 4 or even 7 p.m? Let me tell you, it's an absolute nightmare. People are throwing stuff around everywhere, every machine is occupied, and you'd be lucky if you managed to complete your workout program without any interruptions. However, between 6 and 8 a.m, the gym is relatively empty. People are usually either sleeping or off to work, so you've got the entire gym to yourself. Truth is, going to the gym at 6 or even 7 a.m, it requires a lot of discipline. It's not easy to do. When I started to exercise first thing in the morning, before doing anything work related, I immediately noticed a significant boost in my productivity levels throughout the day. And because I started my day doing something difficult, something challenging, when I'm done, well, I don't feel like just wasting my time on TikTok, scrolling endlessly on social media. Instead, I shower, I go to post-workout, and then I get straight to work. And that's when I do my best, most intense, focused work. Going to the gym first thing in the morning, it energizes you. Now, fair enough, if you're new to working out, or if you're new to just simply going to the gym early, then your first couple sessions, fair enough, they might leave you feeling tired after you've done them because you're simply not used to doing this yet. However, when you turn it into a habit, you will quickly notice that you feel a lot better, a lot more energized after a workout. Personally, I've found that it's the best way to build a lot of momentum that is going to carry on throughout the day. You know, a lot of people have so many misconceptions about productivity as a whole. Nobody even knows what the hell it means to be productive anymore. Many people mistakenly believe that doing lots of stuff, it's what being productive is all about. Like, I know some people, they're super proud of having a 10-feet long to-do list. And my question to them is, okay, that's great, you've done a lot of things, but how many of those things actually move the needle forward and give you the results that you want? That's why I decided that I am only going to set 3 main tasks for the day. And if I can complete them successfully, then I can consider the day is won. This means that no matter what happens later on, either way, I have won the day, and nothing and no one will be able to take away the progress I've made today. And unlike a lot of people might think, being productive, in my opinion, it's not about doing 10,000 different things as fast as possible. Rather, it's about figuring out what gives you the best return on investments for the time that you spend, and then you want to double down on those activities. And when starting a business, a lot of people just waste countless hours. Sometimes people spend weeks on this. They try to find the perfect logo or the perfect name for their company, but none of that even matters. Truth is, your customers, they simply don't care at all about your logo or about your company name. I mean, one of the most popular brands in the world, it's called Apple. And yet, it didn't prevent them from making billions of dollars and crushing their competition, completely dominating the market. So quit overthinking. Instead, roll up your sleeves and get to work. Now, from my own experience and from talking to entrepreneurs and wannabe entrepreneurs, when somebody is overly focused on the small, insignificant details, it's actually because something is scaring them. Maybe deep down they're afraid of cold calling a local business and having the person just hang up on them. Or maybe they just can't sit still and focus and do the work for 1 hour. Now, you see, there is something that is single-handedly destroying your productivity. So the only way to fix this imminent issue is to eliminate the threat completely. I'm talking about notifications. Studies have shown that every single time that you get interrupted during your work, it's going to take about 15 minutes to get back into the state of flow that was disrupted. If you have notifications popping up on your screen every minute or so, how could you stay focused and produce great work? You can't. So for that reason, when you are working, you want to make sure that all notifications are disabled. Believe me, if you're used to having notifications pop up on your screen every 5 seconds, every 5 minutes, it is going to blow your mind how much stuff you can actually get done in an hour, because you will be so much more focused and so much more efficient. Now, interruptions are not necessarily notifications on your screen. It can even be going to the bathroom too many times, or a family member disrupting you when you are trying to get stuff done. And in fact, this is what we call death by 1,000 cuts. You think that there is this one activity that is stealing most of your time from you, and at the end of the day, you look back and you wonder where your time went. you wonder how come time went by so fast, yet I didn't really get that much stuff done. In reality, it's all the little things compounded on top of each other that steal your productivity and make you waste a lot of precious time. To give you an example, when you set a timer for a 45-minute session of deep work, but then you go to the bathroom 5 times, or you get up to go and get your charger, or you go and make yourself a cup of tea, in the end, you will have wasted 15 minutes on the 45 minutes you're supposed to be working. So for that reason, you want to prepare everything before you go and do your deep work session. And talking about deep work, that's actually hack number 4. I usually set a timer for 50 minutes when I am working. Then I allow myself to get a 15-minute break to just go and do something else to refresh my mind, and usually I move around a little bit. Truth is, every job is exhausting, just not in the same way. Someone working a physical job, I mean, at the end of the day, they will be very physically exhausted. But someone working in an office, they don't move as much as somebody with a physical job. Yet, if they spend all day typing away behind a computer screen, at the end of the day, they will be equally exhausted. The other day I saw this YouTube video, and the guy explained that fatigue was not actually solved by rest. At least, not always. He said that it's happened to pretty much all of us to just do nothing for the entire day. Like, think of a rainy day during the winter, you didn't really want to go out, so you just decided to sit on the couch or to lay down and to watch some Netflix. The only exercise you did being walking to the bathroom or walking to the kitchen to get a snack. We've all had days like that. How do you feel when that's the case? At some point, you probably start to feel incredibly tired, even though you were just physically resting all day. You were not exerting yourself. And that's when he explained that the function of fatigue is actually to tell you to switch up what you're doing. For instance, if you've been sedentary for an hour or over an hour and you start to feel fatigued, this means that you need to get up and to move your body. And the opposite also works. If you've had a busy day, especially if you worked out recently, if you start to get tired at some point, it would probably be beneficial to go and get some rest for a little while. Personally, I've found that working in bouts of 50 minutes of deep work and then allowing myself a 15-minute break, it works amazing. At the end of the day, you hear people bragging that they work 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day, but you don't see them bragging about how much money is actually in their bank account. Because I can tell you for a fact that even if you work 12 hours a day, by no means is it going to guarantee that you will make more money than somebody working 8 hours or even just 6 hours a day. Now, something else that really helped me to increase my productivity levels was to routinize my day. When I don't plan things in advance the day before, I've noticed that my productivity falls down significantly. However, if I know exactly what I need to do and when I need to do it, then most of the time I stick to the plan religiously. Some people find it really boring, and some people even go as far as saying that if you've got a plan, then you have no freedom essentially. But I've found the opposite to be true. Discipline gives you freedom, because to get what you want, you're probably going to have to do lots of things that you don't even want to do. If you want to be in incredible shape, you will have to push yourself hard every time you go to the gym. It can be every day. You'll also have to watch what you eat, make sure that you sleep enough, that you rest enough. And it's not going to be easy every day. If you want to make millions of dollars, you will need to do some boring work that you don't feel like doing at all. But that's how the game is played. It's not about being the smartest or the most talented. It's about doing what needs to be done day after day. When you routinize your life like that, success simply becomes a matter of time. At the end of the day, you could be doing everything right, but if you have no patience, you will never win. Rome wasn't built in a day, and we need to remind ourselves of this. And truthfully, most of the time, it's actually going to require so much work, effort, and perseverance than you initially thought to get what you want, to reach your goals. So be prepared to do a lot more than you initially thought. Because if you don't, then someone else will, and they will take the success that could have been yours. Now, there's this kind of controversial thing that can greatly help you to improve your productivity. Scientists are very segmented when it comes to knowing if this is a good practice, a positive and beneficial practice, or on the opposite, a very dangerous practice. I'm talking about taking a nap. The hustle people culture are going to lash out at me for suggesting that you take a nap, because after all, naps are only for toddlers or lazy or weak people with no drive and no motivation, right? I mean, these people are insane. They're going to attack you if you're not overdosed on caffeine and working quote-unquote 16 hours a day. Let me tell you, it's not possible to work 16 hours a day, especially for a long period of time. And fair enough, I'm not talking about people doing night shift and all that stuff. Studies have shown that taking a nap up to 45 minutes, it can increase alertness, cognitive functions, memory, and it can even boost physical performance as well. A lot of people experience what we call the afternoon slump. It's that period between 1 and 4 p.m. where most people experience a dip in alertness. So if you find it really difficult to stay focused after lunch, you can try taking a short nap around 15 to 35 minutes and then see how you feel afterwards. However, you really need to be careful. If you nap for longer than 90 minutes, or if you drift off to sleep too close to bedtime, this could negatively affect your health and cause some serious health consequences later down the line. The reason why is because if you nap for too long, or if you nap too close to bedtime, it's going to interfere with your nighttime sleep. Why? Because it's going to alleviate some of the sleep pressure that builds up during the day, which will prevent you from falling asleep. So if you already have trouble falling falling asleep at night or staying asleep at night, if you struggle with insomnia for instance, napping during the day is not recommended. Now finally, there is one thing that has allowed me to 10x my productivity levels like nothing else. We've briefly talked about the fact that a lot of people seem to think that if they just do more stuff, then they will be more productive. In reality, that's not the case at all. The thing that has allowed me to experience significant growth in my business and to crush my competition, it was to ask myself what activities actually give me the results that I want, and then to double down on those activities, do more of what works, do less of what doesn't. It can sound silly or too simple to be worth mentioning, but a lot of people, they don't even realize this. To give you an example, when you're trying to grow a YouTube channel, you will quickly notice that some videos they do really well and they go viral, while other topics they don't really do that well. In fact, nobody cares. And the funny thing is that sometimes the videos that went viral, that got a lot of views and have subscribers, they took a lot less work than some of the videos that didn't go viral at all. So a way to grow your channel, it would be to make more of the type of videos that people enjoyed, as opposed to trying to push other concepts that people are simply not interested in. If you have a consulting business, most of your time should be spent on outreach. If you work 7 hours a day, that represents 80% of your workday. You want to eliminate or delegate the rest. Now I know that when you're just getting started, you will probably not be able to delegate everything, if anything at all, and that's okay. Just make sure that you delegate as soon as you can, because that is the key to getting to higher levels of wealth. You just can't do everything yourself. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, so you're very limited when it comes to that. And also, why would you not leverage other people's expertise? Hire people who can do the stuff better than you. That's how you get to crazy levels. So I genuinely believe that if you apply these 7 productivity tips, you'll be able to get work done 10 times faster and be 10 times more efficient as before. Now, if you're interested in starting an online business, but you're not sure where to start, I have recorded a video in which I analyze every popular online business model to figure out which one is the best to start for beginners. We take a look at the pros and at the cons of every single business model. The link is in the description if you're interested. And with that said, I am waiting for you on the other side.